Shalom, giving all praise to Yahweh Shemal Shai Bashim Kakudash. Giving all praise to Yahweh Shemal Shai Bashim Kakudash. Now a fun cow. Hallelujah. La Yahweh Bashim Shai Bashim Kakudash. And I'm going to entitle this video, He had a dream that men in the truth were going to take the karagma, the C chip, the C hip, or the MOTB. I just got finished listening to a video that was, I was doing things in the kitchen, Apostle Ryan Lob. And he was going into a lot of prophecies that we constantly, no matter what we do, whatever subject we get into, it always leads us back into those prophecies. So he had mentioned one of the last scriptures he had went into was Nineveh chapter 3, which we're all familiar with that. Then he went to some other scriptures. He quoted some scriptures which we're familiar with it, but they were all prophetic scriptures. You got to keep going over those and that's what the Spirit always leads us back to, that any daggone way. So anyway, you see this video right here. This is on my Odyssey page. Which is right here. Tahar Bun. Well, I just pulled it up anyway. Okay. I could let it play, but I ain't. It says Tahar Bun Lawyer, or at Tahar Bun Lawyer. That's if you go to Odyssey, that's what you look for. Okay, so the individual that had the dream is a young elder in the New York GMS New York camp named Amawan Gabar, and he does a lot of good videos. He has his page. Anyway, what I did was I saw the video. What was it, last week sometime? And I saw the whole video, which is almost 20 minutes long, and I made a copy of it, and I put it on my Odyssey page, as you can see. So with the same title, I left the title up, original title, A Dream I Had a Few Months Ago, Buckle Up, Things Are Gonna Change Real Quick. And in the dream, if you watch the video, in the dream, he explains it better than me because he had the dream. But it's not any complicated thing. Basically, what he saw, you see those people that represented that he went, when he was in high school, he had a dream that he saw people getting the C hip. And he was looking at their faces, and most of the faces were people that he knew from high school, kids that he grew up in high school, you know. But then he also saw behind them actual men that are in the truth. And I asked him, because we discussed it Saturday, it was just so important. This dream hit me so hard that when we close the camp, we have a little discussion. So we'll throw it at them. Okay, what's on your mind? You know, brothers are looking, and you got nothing. What's on your mind? You got the questions, so you know everything. Okay, what does this mean, or whatever? So they'll come up with something, then it will lead to a discussion. And I should have had it, you know, videotaped, whatever, recorded. But anyway, I mentioned the dream, and I called him out, and he kind of had a nervous look on his face. And I said, "Don't worry about it. It's not bad. It's good. It's good, brother." You know, because they want with me, you know, they don't know what. I could be laughing and be dead serious, or be dead serious and be laughing on the inside. I'm weird like that. But I said, brother, you had a dream. Um, I want you to, come up and explain the dream because you can explain it better than me. So he explained it like I explained it, and but he didn't say the part about men and the truth getting the. He saw Israelites getting it. I said, are you talking about Israelites that that are in GMS? And he said, yes. So he recognized their faces. Okay, he recognized their faces. And I was going to say, well, brother, could you point these men out so we can kick them out? I wasn't going to do that. But hopefully it put some fear. I hope you didn't see my face. But anyway, hopefully that'll put some fear in all of our hearts about just because you're in the truth doesn't mean you're gonna resist the C hip. And we keep bringing this up. You know me. They're talking about the C hip again. Yeah, because this is a major uh, prophecy that John saw over 2,000 years ago, and he saw it in crystal clear and living color. He saw people getting lined up. He saw what this elder saw. That's what John saw. He saw people getting something put in their right hand or in their forehead. So he saw doctors or tattoo artists, and people would sit down. He probably saw them going into a store, and the spirit led them into the store, into the office, where you had a guy with a white suit or whatever, or tattoos all over him, and they were putting their hands out. And you know what? Let me do this. Let me do this. Let me do it this way. Okay, let me do it this way here. Bear with me for a minute, because it might be up in here. Anyway, uh, microchip implants. Okay, you heard part of what you said. So let me go to images. You know what? Let me go to news. Let me go to news. Okay, 3 weeks ago, tired of carrying a wallet. Dad has bank chip implanted in hand. This is a month ago. Couple goes viral. The innovative biohack modifications they made to their house. And you see that image right there. See the hand there? There's a left hand. This might be the right hand. In Europe, it's a left hand. RFID chips. This was 3 days ago, 2 days ago, 3 days ago. RFID chips in humans, biohacking, or government. Man has bank card chip. This was 3 weeks ago, implanted in his hand. BBC, the microchip implant that let you pay with your hand. So let me go to images now. Okay, this guy, he's a tattoo artist out of, I believe, Sweden. He's from Europe. If not from Sweden, from Europe. And you don't have to go to a doctor. You might get a doctor's notice or note and authorize him to give you this in your hand, but it's on the left hand in Europe. And this is called the NFC. Over here is RFID. So this is what John actually saw, and he didn't know what was going on. He saw people walking into shops or office buildings in the modern world. He didn't know what was going on. He said, "What the hell? What's this all about?" And he saw people sitting down, and somebody would actually implant them, and that's what he wrote down. And then the scene jumped where you had somebody in the hospital, and they put, he was in the operating room, and they opened his brain up and put something up in there. So we saw, this is amazing, man. And we talk about this all the time. We always lead back to prophecy, even if you don't want to. But I'm not going to go into prophecy, but it always leads to prophecy. And it's amazing how other camps can't see this. Now I can understand 20 years ago you couldn't see it, 30 years ago you couldn't see it, but it's the receipts are 2 miles, or 50 miles high. And then what nation of people outside of us, the Israelites, teach that this is the fulfillment of Revelation? Edomites. The children of this world are wiser in their generation than the children of light. So the pushback is going to be from a lot of these Edomites, the Midwest Bible Belt Israel, Bible Belt Edomites, because a lot of them are Israelites, and down south that they're always about the Bible, but a lot of them are Jake anyway. That's why they're so connected to the book too. But they know about this. And the Israelites that can't see it, either one of two things: the Most High blinded them, or they know about it, but they were in the back door. They were told, to not teach it, or to teach something opposite from it. That's why we say we got 100% truth. If you're missing this thing, if you can't get this, you clearly don't have 100% truth. But anyway, let me come back over here. Bear me for a minute. Okay, it's over here. Okay, so back to this dream here. So the young elder, he told a story, and he said the high school kids took it. He mentioned a high school that he went to, I believe in Brooklyn. I believe he said Boys and Girls High School. I don't remember, but I know exactly where that is. Anyway, so then I said, what about uh, Israelites? You saw Israel? He said, yep. And I'm thinking maybe he saw guys from other camps. I said, were these guys from GMA? He said, yep. He said, I saw their faces. So I looked at the men, and I said, you better do some introspection. Look into yourself. Scripture said, examine yourself, whether it be of the faith. Prove your own self. So anyway, and getting this all together, and then listening to Apostle Ryan live I was listening to him while I was kind of looking up things, and a bunch of precepts came to me. And I said, let me do a video, but I'm gonna wait until he finishes his video. So as soon as he finishes video, I'm here doing my video, which I'm going to premiere it. Was being premiered as we speak. And I had some precepts that I went through. And then I said, well, I got all these good precepts, let me bring them. And I said, nope, I'm not going to write the precepts down. I'm just going to go with the Spirit. If the Spirit's with me, the Spirit will give me these precepts back again. So now, with all that being said, let's go to the blue letter. Okay. Revelation 3. Verse 10. Because you have, well, this is an NLT. Let's see what it says in NLT. Because you have obeyed my commandment to preserve, to persevere. I'm sorry, to persevere, to endure hardness, to keep the words, to keep doing His work, not turning your back on the plow, not going back into the world, not doing the disappearing yet, not pushing His word. The Most High set us up to push this word. So the scriptures say, make full proof of thy ministry, right? You got a guy that ate this roll, that know the scriptures backwards and forwards, but he did a disappearing act, for 10 years or even 5 months. And then when something major happens, they pop up like they never left. And you've seen that. You are witnessing that, especially from these men from the old One West. You had a lot of people fall off from One West back in the day, year 2000. A lot of people fell off after King Marshall passed in 1999. A lot of people fell off. You had that big major split. The men that I had in my class was anywhere from 50 to 52 men. Every last one of them fell off except for 2 men in that room. When we used to have the class before we go out and speak, was Apostle Gabar and Bishop, we used to call him Nathaniel God, or Nathaniel the third. God meaning the third, Nathaniel. Those are the only 2 that's left. But the rest of them, they went back into the world. And then you had a few stragglers among that group. We call them 1992 Israelites. That when YouTube came on the scene, a lot of those faces we knew because they go back to that era. But then, it was sexy at one time to be on YouTube, right? It ain't that sexy to them no more. So they're not putting up videos like they're not being on fire. Make full proof for that ministry. Don't say, well, I'm out there teaching in the hood and nobody's hearing it. What's going to what Matthew 24, this gospel shall be preached or published to the whole world, and then the end shall come. So what vehicle did that? The internet, the YouTube, mainly the YouTube. Then you got Facebook and these other platforms, right? And so let me just read this. It says, because you have obeyed my command to persevere. You can look that up. I will persevere with what? With the truth. I will protect you from the great time of testing. It doesn't say the hour of temptation. It says, I will protect you from the great time of testing that will come upon the whole world. World here is oikoumene, meaning the whole planet Earth, to test those who belong to this world. So now let me read that in the King James. The NLT is kind of a better breakdown than the KJV. So now let's go here. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, meaning you ate this roll, Ezekiel 3, you digested the whole roll, and then you went out and taught people. You gathered fruit, right? Continuously, enduring, persevering, not turning to the left, right hand, or the left hand, not taking thy hand off the plow. You just kept pushing, kept pushing, kept pushing. The Most High is looking for those men and women too, because you got to persevere in being in the truth and prayers, They persevered. The ones of you that did a disappearing act, and then you something major goes down. Let's say something like the 9/11 thing happens again. Guess what? Guarantee. Look at YouTube. You're gonna have all kind of guys coming out, and they'll come out like they never left. They'll come out they'll talk about what I was speaking last week. Nigga, you wasn't speaking last week. Oh, well, the camera broke. Oh, I couldn't. Well, I couldn't afford a camera. Everybody and their mama got a smartphone. We do our videos on the street with a smartphone. It says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, thou hast persevered with the truth, which is the word, the scriptures. I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation. Now in the NLT is different. It doesn't say hour of temptation. It says the loosely saying it from the great time of testing or temptation, which shall come upon all the world, the whole planet Earth, to try them, to test them that dwell upon the earth. Behold, I come quickly. Hold that fast. What do you hold on to? The word, right here. The word. Persevere with it. Have patience. Hold that fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown. Did not the Apostle Paul speak about a crown that he's going to receive? I fought a good fight. 2 Timothy 4, I fought a good fight. I finished my course. Now it's time for my departure. And in the future, I'm merely paraphrasing, I will receive that crown on that day. So Paul didn't take no breaks. He didn't take no vacations. He was out there, man. And along with the other apostles. And he had bragged to the apostles that he did more work than they did. That's in I believe that's second Corinthians 11 chapter. He said, bear with me in my folly. I did this, I did that. I got shipwrecked, got beat up by my countrymen, all kind of hell that I went through, but I kept persevering. So you guys out there that are not persevering, you're not a part of it. And then you got guys that do persevere, but they really don't believe it. You better really believe this. You better fast. You better pray. You better believe this, man. You better you got to know what you're into. So now this is what I did, right? I said, let me click on the word. Let me click here. And let me go. Let's see if all these precepts come to my mind, all these key words. See, a lot of people say they know about the MOTB, and they say they're not going to take it, but then again, they will take it. And you might take it because you told your wife not to take it, and she went down there, she came home with the kids, and all she ain't saying nothing. What's going on? And you see a mark on her hand, you see a mark on the kid's hand, and you're gonna lose it, and then you go, oh my goodness, my family. You might go ahead and get weak and take it. So here's the word temptation. And there's a lot of roots to this word. So listen up. You heard it, parasmas, which means an experiment. This jump shot wasn't an experiment because they didn't know it was going to happen. The FDA didn't approve it. They gave it emergency approval because they were saying, look, we got to do something because these people are going to die. It's just like if you have some cancer that you're going to definitely die inside of 3 months, but we have an experimental drug that may work. And what are you going to say? Yeah, because you're going to die any damn way. So that's emergency approval. So they convinced the world that this is so deadly, we're all going to die. And the FDA said we didn't do enough testing. It takes 10 years, at least 10 years, and another 5 years of human trials and animal trials and this, that, and the third. So you're looking, 10, 15 years. So what they did was they got him to, make it an emergency approval. So we don't know. It's an experiment because we don't know what's going to happen. How many drugs that the FDA approved that went on the market that people use, and then 10 years later, you got the lawyer. Have you taken this particular drug? Because if you have, you can receive money damages. The FDA found out that this causes cancer. So you like penicillin. Penicillin been around before I was born, before my parents were born. There's certain pharmaceuticals that actually work, but for most pharmaceuticals have what do you call it? Uh, symptoms. You can suffer from diarrhea, you can have headaches, and one of them, a lot of times they'll prove it, but they'll say one of the symptoms, you can die. You can have dreams about committing suicide. A lot of these kids that shoot up schools, a lot of them is on pharmaceutical drugs for their mind. So can you blame it on the drug? So it says an experiment, attempt, because this never been done. It's been done on animals, but it hasn't been done wide scale on so-called humans, right? It said an experiment, attempt, trial, proving, trial, proving the trial made of you by my bodily condition, since condition served as to test the love of the Galatians toward Paul. So the Most High setting this. This is the Most High's charagma, by the way. Esau didn't come up with this. The Most High gave him the technology to come up with this. Because what he's setting up right now is smart cities. So the cherry on the top of the cake or the sundae is you getting connected. Connected people, inside joke. As you getting connected, you're going to be a part of the internet. You got a thing called the Internet of Things. This is going to be, when they put you in this system, you're going to be a part of the Internet of all things, where you don't have to pull out a cell phone or a key fob or some type of device. Device is going to be, you're going to be the device. And like I said, I can't, it's beyond me how these other major camps, IUIC and ISUPK, can't see it. And their followers are not going to see it because they see what their leaders see. Whatever if Bishop Nate says, you know what, I had a dream and a GMS was right, all of a sudden they'll magically see it. Oh, I can see it too. Oh, I can see it too. I had a dream too. Most of you Israelites out there are followers. Most of you out there are followers. The majority out there are followers. You listen to this for entertainment purposes only. You get entertained by this. And then a lot of you join camps, but you don't know what's going on. You see what the next guy does. You regurgitate what you learned from your leaders. You don't question nothing. Like, perfect example, the Church of Berea. Church of Berea, they were looking at Paul sideways. Yeah, okay, we're going to check that out and see if that's true. Read about that in Acts 17. It said the trial or the test of man's fidelity, which means what? Faithfulness, integrity, virtue, constancy, and enticement to sin, because this is a sin. Because who gave it to John that you're not supposed to take it? And if you do take it, you're going to be destroyed. Yahweh Shai. How did Yahweh Shai communicate to John? He showed himself, and then he communicated him through angels, different angels. Revelation 19, John saw an angel. He bowed down to the angel. He said, don't bow to me. I'm a fellow brother. Because we are angels in bodies. Enticement to sin, temptation, whether arising from the desires or from the outward circumstances. The world, they're going to say, everybody got to take this thing to get into the, if you don't, we're going to have to cut you off from buying and selling. That's what the whole buying and selling. You won't be able to buy and sell unless you have this thing. And you got Bishop Nathaniel saying, it's talking about corporations, small nations and big nations, rich nations and poor nations. And he'll have people recite it, right? And he'll say it has nothing to do with a man. But then he kind of changed it. They changed it a couple of times. You even got at least one guy in the leadership that knows full well that the charagma or the C hip or the MOTB is the fulfillment of Revelation chapter 13. But he's not man enough to bring it before. He's not man enough to bring it before the council. But he'll fight somebody in the street. Look, man, if a guy rolls up on you, you got to fight him. Well, why don't you fight your leadership, man? In the spirit. Why don't you fight in the spirit? Go before your leadership and curse them out. Be like Paul, man. Be like Paul. Pray for the spirit of Paul. Did not Paul, in Galatians 2, did not the apostle Paul pulled up on Peter, which is the head disciple way over Paul, and did not the apostle Paul curse his ass out? So be like Paul, brother. Of the temptation by which the devil, you got the spiritual demon Satan, and then you got his physical counterpart. And the devil is not, they all devils, is a race of devils, but when it's talking about the devil, it's talking about the elite among these people. Because the average Edomite that you see at Joe Edomite, you see Joe Edomite, walking up and down the street. He don't know. He ain't a part of the plan. They ain't calling him. Look, we're going to initiate the plan to Karagma everybody. No, he don't know because he's gonna line up and get Karagma his damn self. We're talking about the super elite that commune with the spiritual demon Satan, of the temptation by which the devil thought to divert the Lord, I don't even want to say that word, Jesus, the Messiah, from his divine errand. Now, in that case, it's talking about the spiritual demon Satan that tempted the Lord. And guess what? Our Lord passed all the tests. So the question is, are you going to pass all the tests? Are you going to pass this test? The whole world is going to be tried of the condition of things or a mental state by which we are enticed to sin. What does the word entice mean? Entice doesn't mean somebody put a gun on your head to your head and say, I'm gonna kill you. Entice means to make you believe that lie, to deceive you. Anytime you take the words or the phrase MOTB, which is the acronym, put the whole word out and put it in the search engine in blue letter and see how many times it comes up in Revelation. And a few times it'll mention in that same sentence or paragraph, it'll mention deceived, to deceive them. And now when you look at word deceive them, it means to lead in error, to make you err. So the majority of the people are going to take it just like they took the jump shot. So entice a woman that's dealing with another man. She likes you you're on a job. She likes you. She want to get with you. You know she got a man, and she's going to try to entice you. And then you're gonna have to, look, I can't do it. Don't do this. Don't do this. I'll tell your husband or whatever. Then he'll wind up killing your ass. You might have to quit the job or something, or report it to the boss. It says by which we are enticed. So how the world is going to be enticed to receiving this? If you had a stroke or heart attack, we can put this in you. If you're paralyzed, we can put this in you. And that's their miracles in Revelation 13. They're miracles. They're technology. If you lost your memory, if whatever the case may be. And that's why it's going to be put in your head. Most people is going to be put in their hands. Or to a lapse from the faith and holiness. So now these Edomites should go ahead and take it. Moabites, Ammon. Look, you got this clown, Vocab Malone. Why is he over there in China spreading the gospel? Why is he trying to convert Buddhists? When he came and visited us, why didn't he go down to Christopher Street down at Greenwich Village and try to convert them? Because he don't care about them, because he's on a mission. And he doesn't know about the charagma either, because he's on a low level. He don't come with that weak shit about King David and the goats. Yes, he had goat. She took stuffing from a goat and made a pillow out of it. Put two layers of cloth over it. So what the hell are you talking about? You're easy, man. Adversity, afflictions, trouble. And that's when you go into Jacob's trouble that we're going to be delivered out of. What is going to be the trouble? The fact that you're not going to take that charagma. And then you're going to be turned away from stores that you can go into. So the Most High is going to have to initiate something that we eat. Isaiah 65, read that whole chapter, mainly like the 9th verse on down. My servants shall eat. So at the end of the day, we're trusting in the Most High. Now these Jakes in the Kemetic community and Moors, and they're going to get caught up. And then you know what they're going to wind up doing? They're going to wind up taking it any day going way. Because there's nothing in the Metu Netta or the 42 negative confessions that says thou shalt not take this thing. It doesn't say that. And then people are going to be talking shit about us. And then that's when there's going to be a major shakeup in Israel as to whether they should take it. They're going to be questioning their leaders. They're going to be questioning Bishop Nathaniel. They're going to be questioning General Johanna. They're going to be questioning them as to what they're going to say. Now, you know what General Johanna said about the jump shot. He said, go ahead and take it. I'll take 3-4 of them bad boys. Adversity, affliction, trouble, Jacob's trouble, sent by the Most High and serving to test or prove one's character, faith, holiness. So the ones of you that took this, you lack faith. You were not of the elect. Temptation, i.e., trial, test of the Most High by men, rebellion against the Most High, by which his power and justice are, as it were, put to the proof or the test and challenged to show themselves. Now you got a bunch of precepts here, right? Matthew 6, verse 13, and lead us not into temptation or a test, but deliver us from evil. Because what is the charagma? It's evil. So you praying, when you say the Lord's Prayer, our Father's Prayer, you're asking the Most High to fortify you that you don't get tempted. Matthew 26, verse 41, watch and pray that ye enter not into temptation, that you don't fail the test, the ultimate test. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak. Because if you can't eat, you're going to get weak in the mind. I got to eat something. I got to do something. You got to eat. Your kids got to eat. It says in Luke 4, verse 13, and when the devil had ended all the temptation, he departed from him for a while, for a season. So what was it? How did the devil present the test to our Lord? He was on a 40-day fast. He didn't have no food in the system. So he was weak. When you read that in Luke, was that Luke 4, Matthew's 4, it said the angels came and comforted him. He ate. But that's when the spiritual demon Satan came to him, man. When he was physically weak at the point to die. Remember what Esau did. He got physically weak at the point to die. He was famished, and he sold his birthright. That was you, stupid. You fucked up your destiny, which was all set up in the spirit. That's why you wanted to kill your brother. Jacob wouldn't have did that if he was the firstborn son. So the thing that's gonna make you submit is the fact that you can't eat. You got a family, you got beautiful children. You know, you got your mother, your parents might still be living. You got cousins, you got your favorite uncle, you got friends that you cool with, and all of them, if they're not in the truth, guess what? They're guaranteed they're gonna take it. Now, what I did was trying to remember what precepts I want to, or what words. Let me go to the word fall away. Fall away. Luke 8, verse 13, which is a beautiful precept right here. The day on the rock, and this goes hand in hand with Matthew 13. And they on the rock are they which, or the seed that falls on rock, are they which when they hear, receive the word. In other words, you watch the videos, you go out to the camp, you get all into it. You want to join the camp? Can I join this camp? You know, this, that, and the third. You're holding posts, you're reading, you're speaking with joy, and these have no root, which for a while believe, and in time of temptation fall away. So what's the time of temptation? The ultimate time is that test, Revelation 3, verse 10. It says here, Hebrews 6, verse 6, I'm going to go to the fourth verse. Should start in the first verse. Okay, the peril of falling away. Therefore, leaving the principles of the doctrine of Yahweh Shai, which is the whole book. Behold, I come in the volume of the book and it's spoken to me. So you got to eat the whole roll. Let us go on unto perfection. And how do you perfect it? You know the book. You got to keep going through the book, not laying us again the foundation of repentance from dead works and of faith toward the Most High. Of the doctrine of baptism and of laying on of hands and of resurrection of the dead and of eternal judgment. And this will we do if the Most High permit. For it is impossible for those who were once enlightened and have tasted the heavenly gift and were made partakers of the Holy Spirit. Most High, open up your spiritual eyes and have tasted the good word of the Most High and the powers of the world to come, if they shall fall away, to renew them again unto repentance, seeing they crucify to themselves the Son of the Most High fresh and put him to an open shame. In other words, the Most High is not coming down. You fell out for 10 years. In order for you to come back in this circle, the Lord will have to come down again, get his ass beat by the Romans and hung and go through that. You think he's going to do that? You think he's going to do that? You only got one time to get it right. So the ones of you that fell off, guess what? You're going to take the charagma and you're going to die. And ones of you that fell off, you're not even leaving the country, man. Shit, at least I would leave the country. I'll go to Africa some damn way and hang out with the Gold Black to Africa. I'll hang out with him and his son. Or go to South America. But you know what? You're not going to do that because you don't believe. You don't believe this. The Most High took that understanding from you. You get far enough away from this, you go get with this guy Vocab Malone. He said they teaching that white people eat. White people ain't no Edomites. The Edomites are done away with. You know, or what else? Come on, that ain't gonna happen. That ain't gonna happen. Ain't no missiles gonna come. America's too powerful. You see the trouble that Russia's dealing with Ukraine? You think they can deal with America? Look, Russia haven't pulled out the missiles yet. That's conventional warfare. They know they can knock Ukraine back to the Stone Ages if they want to. It says in Second Peter's, this was the second chapter, in the last couple of verses, 20 verse on down, that they return back unto their vomit like dogs. Let me try another one. Cast away and if you're one of the elect, because you got a lot of these camps, you're trying to get a lot of members, a lot of people. A lot of them are not elect. A lot of them are not of the elect, and they're going to fall off. It says, 1 Corinthians, 9 verse 27. This is the Apostle Paul speaking. And you got to read this whole chapter. This whole chapter is powerful. It said, but I keep under my body and bring it into subjection, lest or least that by any means, when I have preached to others, I myself should be a what? A castaway. So you got men that came to this thing and they taught, and men came in by listening to this man. And those men that came in are of the elect. But then you're going to fall out. So the Most High just use you to be a vessel to bring certain men into it and then get rid of you. Why you think King David said what he said? Take not away from me thy Holy Spirit. And why did he say that in the Psalm? Because the Most High took the spirit away from Saul, King Saul. Let me close it with a breakdown and try to get into the habit of staying in these breakdowns. Let me go. We were going through it Saturday, Revelation chapter 14. So I'll breeze through that. It's not a long chapter. I don't think we did the whole thing. Okay, how many verses? All right, 20 verses. Let's see how fast, see if we can cover this. The Lamb, Revelation 14:1, the Lamb and the 144,000 on Mount Zion. And I looked, and lo, a lamb, which is Yahushua, stood on the Mount Zion, and with him 144,000, having his father's name written in their foreheads. So we know the name of the Most High and the Son. And I heard a voice from heaven as the voice of many waters, and as the voice of a great thunder. And I heard I heard the voice of harping with their harps, and they sung as it were a new song before the throne and before the four beasts and the elders, and no man could learn that song but the 144,000 which were redeemed from the earth. And that represents the elect, because there's more than 144,000. Those are the key men of the elect, the first fruit of the Most High. And what is the song? This truth that we have. And that's why Sarnetta and certain guys can't get it. And what are they doing? They're constantly bucking up against it. Fourth verse. These are they which were not defiled with women. And we went through that. That's talking about philosophies. See, that comedic stuff is a woman. That spirit is a particular woman, the spirit of a woman. Being a Moor, that's another spirit of a different woman. Being a Baptist, that's another spirit of a different woman. Being a Seventh-day Adventist, that's another spirit of a different woman. Islam, that's another spirit of a different woman. Being an atheist, do you know an atheist is really a belief? Because why would you debate somebody? I'm an atheist, I don't want to debate you. Why would you want to debate? You just don't believe in the Most High. If you don't like eating broccoli, you don't go around to people and debate them. I'm going to debate you as to why you shouldn't eat broccoli. That's stupid. An atheist should just walk down the street. Oh, there goes some Christians over there. Let me keep walking. It says, for they are virgins, meaning we're pure. When you go back to the first two verses, actually the first verse, they have which is 144,000. What made us pure? The Most High made us pure. O wretched man that I am, Apostle Paul said, these are they which follow the Lamb whithersoever he goeth. How do we follow the Lamb? I said that yesterday, by reading the book. These were redeemed from the earth. The word redeemed meaning bought back from among men, being the first fruit, and I mentioned that, the first fruit unto the Most High and to the Lamb. I really want to go into the first fruit. Matter of fact, let me do that. Let me go into the first fruit. Aparche, to offer firstlings or first fruits, to take away the first fruits of the production of the earth, which was offered to the Most High. So the first part of the fruits go to the Most High. Your first son goes to the Most High. Your first cattle that you have have a farm. Your first cattle that's born goes to the Most High. A cow has calves. The first male in form of man is male, goes to the Most High. Samuel was the first son of Anna, so he was special to the Most High. The first portion of the dough from which Sacred loaves were to be prepared for who? For the Levites. Hence term use of persons consecrated, made holy, or with sacredness to the Most High for all time. Whatever you are now, if you are ultimately a prophet of the Most High, guess what? You were a prophet in your past life and your life before that. You was always the first fruit in whatever life that you were in the past. Person superior in excellence to others of the same class. So that the elect are over the rest of Israel. The 144,000 are over the rest of Israel. Then you got the 12, which are the first of the 144,000. Ye shall sit on 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. So what is Peter and the rest of the 12 and Paul and them? They're the first fruit. Remember, they died for this truth. So now let's come back over here. I mean, that first fruit is a topic in itself. And in their mouth was found no guile, but they are without fault before the Most High, before the throne of the Most High. Read Isaiah, the 6th chapter. It's a short chapter. It said that he was undone. He bowed down. He felt ashamed because he saw the presence of Yahweh Shai and the angels and so forth. He saw all that glory. And he was like, felt the shame. I'm not worthy to be in your presence. I'm a man of unclean lips amongst people of unclean lips, sinners. So the angel took out a coal, which is a charcoal, which if you have a water purifier, the main ingredient that purifies the water is coal. It's a purifying agent. So the angel touched the coal on his mouth, on his tongue, and he became clean. He became righteous. So that same thing happened to us. Vision of the angel with the gospel, 6 verse, Revelation 14 verse 6. And I saw another angel fly in the midst of heaven, having the everlasting gospel to preach unto them that dwell on the earth. And are we doing that? We're dwelling on the earth, preaching the gospel, right? And to every nation and kindred and tongue and people. Now you got here you come, here you got the devil vocab. See that? See? That's the body of believers. Unto and to every nation and kindred and tongue and people. Those are all Israelites. But in a bigger sense, we are talking to other people because Jeremiah 1 says we are the Most High set us up to be a prophet unto the nation. That's why we know that so-called white people came out of Edom. That's why we know that Arabs went back to the Midianites, the Ishmaelites, and so forth, the Carmanians. It says, saying with a loud voice, fear the Most High and give glory to him for the hour of his, there goes hour, number of time. That's also Revelation, the 9th chapter. One day, 1 year, 1 month, 1 day, 1 hour to slay the third part of men, which are the sons of the wicked. Hour of his judgment is come, and worship him that made heaven and earth. Who made heaven and earth? Yahweh Shai. So what do we do with Yahweh Shai? We worship him. The Father didn't make heaven and earth. It was the Son that made heaven and earth with the help of the angels. Genesis 1 verse 1, First John 1 verse 1, Hebrews 1 verse 1, and the sea and the fountains of waters. And there followed another angel saying, Babylon is fallen, is fallen. Now, what does that mean? Ask any Christian, what does this mean? What does this verse mean? Revelation 14, verse 8. They don't know what it means. They're thinking about Iraq. They're thinking about ancient Babylon. They're thinking about Nebuchadnezzar. if they're that deep. Some of them might say, well, that's the Vatican City. Any Israelites is teaching that, you are definitely not of the elect. Babylon the Great is Vatican City in Rome. Vatican City is only 2 miles square. You can run around. So that'd be 2, 4, 6. If you run around Vatican City, that's 8 miles. You can do that inside of maybe an hour, or less, depending on the pace that you put. So that you can drive around. Hell, you can drive around the whole Vatican City inside of 10 minutes. So how in the hell is that Babylon the Great? And there followed another angel saying, Babylon is fallen, and that great city, because she made all nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. You got people from other nations that are into men into men, women into women. And then, the U.S. government, they push this thing about the Bible, but then you can have any religion and come to this country with your religion. So this is not a God-fearing country. This is not a God-fearing country. This is Satan's seat, doomed for worshipers of the beast. 9th verse, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and it's not a picture of Caesar Borgia, because you're going to get people that's going to take the charagma and are atheists. All right? You're going to have people that's going to accept the charagma and are following Muhammad, Muslims. Buddhists, they're going to take it. They ain't bowing down. Ain't nobody going to say, okay, now kiss the picture of Jesus. So anybody that's teaching that, you really, the Most High is not dealing with you fully. Bishop Nathaniel teaches that to this day. They'll bring us, see, you get this picture, see, Caesar Borgia, that's the image. No, it's not the image. The word image, you should look up the word image in the Greek. Icon, it goes back to the word icon, which doesn't just mean an actual picture, but it means, an image. When you want to sell something, you want to sell Coca-Cola, you put a big bottle of Coca-Cola, somebody drinking it with a smile on their face. That's a whole image right there. That this will make you, and like the Coca-Cola commercials, they used to have guys that, not Tom Cruise, but they would have white boys that look just like Tom Cruise drinking a Coca-Cola. To make, oh wow, if I drink Coca-Cola, I can look like Tom Cruise. So the image is not a picture of Caesar Borgia. The beast is the system. And receive his mark in their forehead or in their hand. So that's what John saw. And we went through this. And the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. Now, these dumbass monkey-minded Christians, they'll say, well, that's talking about hell. So you mean to tell me you're going to be burning in hell for the next billion years, and you're going to have angels and the Lord sitting down there watching you burn? They're going to be above you in what you call UFOs, the chariots of Israel. We're going to get beamed up, and you're going to be fired up, and we're going to look down and see that. That's what it means, in the presence of the angels, and not just the presence of the angels and the Lamb, but the elect. Read Psalm 91. And the smoke of their torment ascended up forever and ever, for a long time, till the smoke cleared. We are from New York. We went down when the World Trade Centers went down. It was so much, you couldn't even drive down there. It was so much commotion for about a good week. And we went down there a week later. After camp, we drove down right past it, man. And there was still a lot of traffic going down there because you had this old church which had a graveyard. I forget the name of the church. It's like a block away from the World Trade Center, right? And it was taped off, and like after the buildings went down, you saw the that metal that folded out that looked like leaves from a tree, but they were metal, and you saw smoke coming from it, right? And you see people praying for the dead and all that, and the news was down there, and we actually passed by it after they tore down all that metal. This is what we saw, right? Let me do this. I didn't want to make this too long, but World Trade Center. Okay, they want to preserve it. They're not going to show you after the. And a whole lot of movies that was made in New York, they always open with the World Trade Center. Okay, I'm trying to find World Trade Center. Let me try this. Let me try attack. I'm gonna tell you what we saw with our own eyes. The hell? Trying to find that particular picture. Aftermath. Aftermath. Let's see what happens. I don't know why they don't have that picture. Can't see that daggone picture, man. Bear with me, please. Bear with me, please. Oh, this right here, this globe, they preserved it. It's down at what's that place? Bowling Green. They preserved it. They fix it up. It's still bent up, but they kind of this is close enough. So we saw that. Let me see. Just bear with me, if you don't mind. And it was devastating because we were in New York. I was working. I did deliveries to certain bars, and the bars were packed, and everybody was drinking. Proverbs, give him strong drink so he can remember his miseries or his poverties no more. They closed down all the offices at about 12, 11:30, 12. I couldn't finish doing deliveries. And this shook up, this was breaking news around the whole planet. And guess what? Revelation 18 is going to be breaking news around the whole planet. Breaking news, America got hit, because they're going to know that there's tensions between Russia and the U.S. I was working out at this one particular gym, and most of the members were like police officers and firemen. And a lot of these guys' brothers, yeah, my brother was one of them, man. The only thing they can find was his boot with his name on it. They couldn't with a foot in it. So this is nothing compared to what's going to happen, and that's the Jacob's trouble. There's another one. Look at that. And you still got people that don't know what's really going on. Okay, so now let's come back over here. And the smoke of their torment descended up forever and ever, and they have no rest day or night. Now, I don't see it burning in hell. Nope, they're gonna be in slavery. When you go to Second Ezra 13, some had smiles on their face, some were happy, some were sad, and some were bound, who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. So if you're going to follow your leaders, you're going to get caught out there, man. Here is the patience in the here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of the Most High and the faith of Yahweh, which is the whole book. He that endureth to the end, the same shall be saved. He that doesn't accept that the charagma is going to be saved. If you take it, you can't pull it out at the last minute. You can't say, well, they held me down. 5 guys, big, strong um, doctors held me down. They stuck it in me. So all I got to do is pray. And then you get up and you say, well, I can go buy and sell. I got it in me. Let me go and buy and sell it. That's one of the IUIC camps said. So they changed it up. I said, I heard a voice from heaven saying unto me, right, blessed are the dead which die in Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, be from henceforth, yea, and say, yea, saith the Spirit, that they may rest from their labors and their works do follow them. So the ones of you that fell out the truth and you died, you might have did 20 years in the truth. In the last year, you went back in the world. Guess what? The works don't follow you. You're just going to be a citizen of Israel. Okay, the reapers. I'm almost finished. Hang tight. 14 verse, Revelation 14, verse 14. And I looked and behold a white cloud, and upon the cloud, and we know that's talking, sometimes it says a horse, white horse, sometimes it says a cloud, sometimes it says a mountain. It's talking about the same thing. It's talking about a ship that he's going to come with. And behind him is going to be Michael the archangel and the rest of the angels in ships, what they call chariots, the chariots of Israel. That's what Elijah said, the chariots of Israel, because they're coming to deliver Israel. He said, I looked and behold a white cloud, and upon the cloud one sat like unto the Son of Man, having on his head a golden crown. Revelation 19, it said he had many crowns. And then meaning he taking people down. And guess what? We're taking people down too. Daniel 7 and 8, 18. The saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom. So are we going to have crowns on our head? Read 2nd Ezra 2, around about the 40 some odd verse. And that's what Paul was talking about. I'm going to receive a crown. And in his hand, a sharp sickle. What is a sickle? When you grow corn or wheat, you cut the corn or the wheat. It says, and another angel came out of the temple, crying with a loud voice to him that sat on the cloud, which is Yahweh Shai, thrust in thy sickle and reap, for the time is come for thee to reap. For the harvest of the earth is ripe. It's ready to be taken down. And you're going to take the wheat, you're going to put it in barns, and you're going to take the tares, which are the Edomites, Matthew 13, and you're going to put it, you're going to bundle it up, and you're going to burn it. What does that represent? What did Matthew see? What did that represent that the Lord said? It represented the fact that they're going to be set on fire by the missiles. That's the Most High's instrument, his mechanized army. Revelation 9, around about the 14, 15 verse, 16 verse, around there. I'm not going to go to it, where it speaks about 200,000, and John said, I heard the number. Those are missiles, not angels. ISUPK says they're angels. No, what we learned back at One West was they were missiles. So how did it change? But you're saying we're keeping the original ISUPK back in 1960. No, you're not. Back in the day, they thought that Cornelius was an Edomite. So how you keeping the same thing that the ISUPK of old kept? That's a gimmick right there. 16. I was there, man. I came in before General Yohana came in. I came into school in the truth before he came into the truth. And he that sat on the cloud thrust in his sickle on the earth, and the earth was reaped. What part of the earth? This place right here, the U.S. And then you're going to have, like I said before, many times, them Europeans around the world, they're going to try to fight us, and we're going to become X-Men on them. We're going to make guns melt in their hand. We're going to make their guns turn on themselves. We're going to have fun with it. We're going to get creative with it. Almost finished. You know me, I love these prophetic scriptures. And another angel came out of the temple which is in heaven, he also having a sharp sickle. And another angel came out from the altar, which had power over fire in the form of what? Of the form of missiles, and cried with a loud cry to him that had the sharp sickle, saying, thrust in thy sharp sickle and gather the clusters of the vine of the earth, for her grapes are fully ripe. Now you got to go to Isaiah 63, and it talks about the Edomites. So these grapes are who? Edomites. And the angel thrusting his sickle into the earth and gathered the wine, the Edomites of the earth, and cast it into the great wine press of the wrath of the Most High. So he's likening them unto grapes, and you make a wine out of them. So how do you make wine from grapes? You step in the old world, you stepped on them. You stepped on them. There was a episode where Lucy, I Love Lucy, they went to Italy, somewhere to Sicily, and she had a fight with another Italian chick because they were making grapes. You know, they had the dresses on, they were stamping on the grapes, and they started fighting. That was a famous episode. So that's what the Most High is comparing Esau to. I'm going to take you as grapes, I'm going to put you in a wine press, and I'm going to stomp you out so the blood can flow. And my raiment, which is white, is going to be full of blood. That's not going to Yahweh Shai is not going to have 1 ounce of blood on him. It's parabolic. It's poetic. It represented that he's going to destroy them, utterly destroy them. The system's going to be switched over from Edomite rulership to a Most High ruling, and underneath the Most High is Yahweh Shai and the elect and the rest of Israel. And we're going to bring back the rest of Israel. So the ones of you that took the chip, guess what? You're going to die, you're going to come back, and you're going to be born through us. Last verse, and I'm out of here. Water for bearing with me. 20th verse, Revelation 14, verse 20. And the winepress was trodden without the city, and blood came out of the winepress even unto the horse's bridle by the space of 1,600 furlongs. So this goes hand in hand with a lot of different scriptures: Isaiah 34, Isaiah 13, Isaiah 14, uh, Isaiah 13, Isaiah 14, Isaiah 34, Isaiah 63. There's so many verses, man, that go with this Revelation 14. Anyway, with that, I'm gonna say shalom. On to the next one, the water.